So we'll go ahead and get straight into the picks and bans. Looks like blue team is going to go ahead and ban away the Hekarim, Lee Sin, and the Mordekaiser. We have seen the jungler for red team play the Mordekaiser jungler before. That was going to be the Nihon there on red team. Did play Mordekaiser before. He was sufficient with it, but we decided, or they decided, excuse me, that they do not need it in this game, so blue team go ahead and ban that away, and they are looking at go ahead and locking in their jungler as well. Nidalee has been left up, but it looks like they aren't going to go for that, looking for a pretty hard engaged jungle that'll just be able to get those picks that they're going to want. Twisted Fate, Braum, and LeBlanc also taken away from blue team, so red team looking to get something done there, and they will go ahead and insta-lock their mid and their 80 carry. Wow, really bold pick here by the mid laner for red team, deciding that they're going to go with the Zed blind, which is interesting. So now blue team has a choice here. They can look for a counter for the Zed, and they can look for a nice strong laner in the bot lane, and then they can wait to see if they want to counter a top lane, see if there's a good matchup there. You typically against the Zed, there's of course the skill matchup between the Ahri and the Zed. We haven't seen a lot of Ahri lately, just not having a whole lot of early game pressure that really people are really looking for. The Malzahar has been left up, Kennen top is also up, but it looks like blue team going to go ahead and lock in their bot lane here, saving the mid and their top laner for a little bit later in the draft, just hoping that they can get a little bit more information here from red team, even though they have two of their biggest carries already revealed. So the Lucian and the Bard locked in the bot lane. That's going to be really nice, setting up the Fate's Call into a culling or into some free damage from the Lucian. The stuns are going to be really nice onto the Jhin. If the Fate's Call is going to be able to stop a lot of the Jhin damage too. As soon as he starts ulting, then you've seen people throw that down. So we'll see if they decide to utilize that. The support and the jungle now being picked up for red team. That's going to be the Akali in the jungle. I haven't seen this for quite some time, but I have heard that the clear is pretty decent. I get some spell vamp on her and kind of rush before really getting your first. Once you get the first tier, or excuse me, second tier jungle item, without upgrading into the glaive, the AP jungle item. Then you rush the Spellblade for her, and then she's able to do really well later on in the game. Blue team hovering the Vladimir here would be pretty decent for the Zed, being able to block a lot of the damage with. As soon as the Zed ults in, then Vladimir just pools and is able to bypass a lot of that. So we'll see if he's able to deal with it in that regard. A nice little pick here into the Zed. He will lock that in, and a Riven in the top lane. So red team has a choice here now. Are they going to deal with someone who's tanky, who can deal with a Riven, but is going to receive a lot of harassment? Or are they going to pick someone who's going to be able to put up with that Garen, and to silence a lot of her combo? Echo is still a lot up, so they might decide they want to go with that. Someone a little bit tankier would be great for this matchup. It would get them through blue team's burst. There's a whole lot of burst coming through here, so red team looking to do something on that front. 20 seconds to go here in the pick ban phase. We do see the Kennen is up, Fiora, Jax, Jace would be an amazing matchup here, but they will go ahead and lock in the Vayne top lane. Amazing strat here from them. So we'll see if they decide that they want to really be aggressive in the top lane, if the Akali is going to focus that, or if they're going to be able to snowball their way through the early game into the mid game, and then they'll be able to bring it out in the end. But it is really pivotal for red team to get snowballing, otherwise their mid game is going to falter, and then blue team is going to be able to really scale through until the late game. So that's what they're really wanting. Their early pressure from the Riven is going to really bring a lot to the table for blue team, and then the Vladimir scaling into, as soon as he gets the magic resist item in the mid lane, then he's really going to have to stack some armor against the Zed. Otherwise, he will end up getting bursted pretty quickly here. So We do see the TP taken away from the Vayne, so not a lot of cross-map pressure here for red team, but we will see a lot of pressure for the blue team here. So it'll be interesting to see how they really start this early game pressure. If I'm interested, so focusing on the Vi here, the Vi pick for blue team. The pathing is going to be really, really important for blue team. Are they going to pressure in this mid lane and get the Vladimir scaled up a bit quicker? If he can get early armor items and early Zonias, that would be amazing for him, because he'd be able to survive some of the Vlad outbursts. He's not going to be able to pick up the Spectre Cowl for the Spirit Visage anytime soon, because it's the magic resist isn't going to do much for him unless Akala is hanging around a lot and he's taking more damage from her. He's going to have to play pretty safe. But Vi is going to have to decide, okay, I want to go Krugs, Wraiths, Wolves just to smite and get the Wisp in the jungle, and then head back to his red and take his red, and then head back to the blue and take his blue. If he doesn't want to get stolen away by the quick clear from Akali, then he's going to need to be able to make those decisions and really start affecting his lanes as soon as possible with his double buffs. Now the Akali is going to really want to focus on getting to level 6 as soon as possible. That Shadows Dance, or what is the ultimate called? It's going to be really important to get Shadow Dance, yes. Shadow Dance off and get that as soon as possible so that she's able to get into the fights and get into these ganks. Otherwise, there's not really a whole lot of CC coming out from the mid lane, so the mid lane ganks are going to be a little bit difficult. I'd suspect that Akali would hang around bot for the most part. The mobile Lucian and the magical journey from Bard is going to make it difficult to gank bot as well. But if they do happen to push up and be really pressuring the long-ranged Jhin and the pretty aggressive Leo, who pair well together, by the way. Leo goes in, Jhin lands a long-range stun, and then is able to support his high CC, hard engage support. The Akali is really going to have to look for these bot lane ganks. Top lane as well, really the only CC there is Condemn, so if Vayne did happen to get a stun into the wall on the Riven, then they might be able to burst her down. But with Akali standing right on top of Riven, then it's going to be a lot of the damage output is going to have to come from the Vayne. Otherwise, Riven will just stun the Akali and then run away. So it's going to be up to them to decide where they want to go. Key burst, that's the W. But I'm interested, really, because instead of the Bard, I would have preferred a tankier support, especially against the Leona. Tom Kench would have been amazing. He was still up as well. Sustain would be really weak against the Leona, so the Bard I want to say is Sustain, but I'm also just curious why they didn't decide to go for a tankier support. They do like the aggression, and they do like the peel that's given by the Bard with the double stuns there. That potential for those landing is going to be pretty quintessential to surviving the lane. If they can get the Leona out of their hair, then that'd be something that would really help them through the laning phase. So we will see how it goes, but this is UEF, the Extra Life event. Game 2 of a series. Red team is favored in this matchup, so we will see if they're able to pull out another win. They did not get their Mordekaiser jungle, so we will see how their pick and ban phase evolves throughout this series. But I am interested to see the pathing from the Akali and then pathing from the Vi to see who they're going to start pressuring, and if they're going to... It's really... Okay, so for the win conditions for blue team, they're going to need to get the Riven snowballing. They're going to need to get the Vladimir scaling earlier than he would later. Because if Zed starts getting going, then that's going to be a problem. He'll be able to jump into the backline, kill the Lucian, and get out before the Riven's able to peel, the Vladimir's able to slow, the Bard's able to stun. But again, if the Zed does go in on the Lucian and Vi is nearby, she will be able to ult him, and then a key burst from Riven would stop that engage completely, and then they would lose one assassin, and they'd have to deal with the 280 carries. Leona's not going to be able to peel a Riven and a Vladimir and a Vi coming at their squishy team. With the Jhin in the backline who has no peel for himself. The Vayne who only has Condemn and an invisibility ult. So it's going to be pretty quintessential for them to look for a way to get through this early game and to get snowballing as soon as possible. Interesting to see what will go on. Looks like they're going for a pretty tight start here for the beginning of the game, and a rather fair scrimmage, line of scrimmage for blue team. So the early invade here from red team. Not sure if they were spotted by blue team, but they will go ahead and not find anyone in the bot lane. Blue team suspecting this and already running into the enemy jungle to place a ward. So really smart play from blue team here. They do see the Bard on this side of the map. They did not have a ward. He's going to face check the bush, and there they'll find him. Flash over the wall. Immediate flash from the Zed, and he will get the kill. Ignite used for the mid laner. So 2 summoner spells for a trade of 1 and first blood for the Zed here. So 5 assists across the team and only a death. So I'd say the 1 summoner burned for blue team kind of brings them out all right, but that is a 500 gold lead in the beginning. So not the best start here. He didn't need to face check the bush. He got the deep ward. All he needed to do was head to the mid lane turret, but he decided to face check. They didn't have any wards behind him. Red team didn't have any wards behind them as well, but they decided to go back and double back on the... They had the pathing through the jungle, and they'd made their way all the way down here. And then decided, you know, why don't we cut back? Someone probably has shown up by now. So really important decisions here in the early game. Bot lane will have the advantage, a little bit of pressure here, just the experience lead. Very slight, but they will have a little bit more of that advantage. An extra longsword for the Zed in the mid lane. A little bit of an engage here in the bot lane onto the Bard. Very squishy target. Nice engage there from the Leona to get some good damage. Really easy for the Leona to just walk up and get some nice E onto the Jhin Zenith Blade. Really no, max range there and getting it onto the Lucian. Lucian not really respecting the Zenith Blade proc and deciding to E late. Something interesting about Leona's Zenith Blade is that if it connects to someone, the root is very minimal. So right there, you could see it evident. The Zenith Blade can connect and someone can dash right as it connects, but Leona will still fly to wherever they're last located. So if the Zenith Blade connects at the beginning of Lucian's dash, and he dashes as she's flying midair, she will fly towards him, like you could see. She flew to this location where he was, but he dashed to here, so she flew to that location. So pretty nice play there from the Leona. Excellent and experienced on this champion. Mid lane matchup here for the Zed, going to be playing pretty passive. Already has a tiny bit of a CS lead. Not looking to be a whole lot of engage. Already a level down here from the Vladimir. Losing a little bit of experience coming into the game, but he into the mid lane. Just a little bit behind. Playing very passive against the Vladimir because the poke, the range from the melee is going to really be a little bit of a disadvantage here, but he will be doing his best to stay active. Trying to get some damage off, but Zed just being too passive here in the mid lane, farming so slowly and surely. A little bit of a ping coming into the top lane. Riven extremely low from the Vayne engage. So early game, picking up another longsword. Riven not really able to hold her own against this Vayne. The range is just helping him out so much, so he's going to be able to pressure her. You can already see Akali really coming into this very early top lane gank, wanting to see if she can get something done. She knows that Vi bead. Nice cheeky ward here, not deciding not to go for wolves, knowing that she just backed, and Also, not really having any information if they've had any advantage. So, red team's Fog Warrior, she knows that the Whisper is here, so yes, she is here in the jungle, so we will not see if the Akali... They do spot her out. She does not see her Gromp is there, so she knows that Akali was nearby. Decides that she's going to go for a top lane gank. I'm wondering if she'll sneak past this. River was warded, so Vayne would spot this out if she decided to go for top. They know that she's here. Here comes out the pings, and they do ping out to Vayne. Very low health, but Vayne will spot her on this ward right about now. Just out of Fog's... Oh my gosh, that was so good. Decides to flash, waits for the Vayne flash, still misses the Vault Breaker. So, very close there. Nice flash burn for each team. So, Vayne comes out with the beneficial from the 2v1 gank. Excellent work by both teams here now. Still a CS lead for the Vayne here. Decides to go in to get some early poke and is not able to land it. Kind of second guesses himself. So needing to be a little bit more decisive, knowing that the pool was still up, and deciding not to engage on that. He is going to go ahead and grab himself his early Hex turn. No ward in the river here means lots of easy engage. Zenith Blade onto the Bard, and Akali comes in, still does not have Shadow Dance, so they won't be able to follow up. But the distance there from Jhin just being back here as they engaged up onto the Bard up here was a little bit spaced out, so needing a little bit more communication, but they'll be able to pull it together for the next one. So blue team deciding to re-ward that jungle. They do see the Bard walk into river. Cancels her back, but won't do anything about it. He knows that someone's still nearby, so he decides, I'll just ward this river and then deal. I'll be fine with that. And so he wanders to go collect some chimes. Vi hoping to pick up some decent farm and stay viable, staying pretty even with the Akali here. Big gold lead starting to develop in the top lane here for the Vayne. Hoping that she can get some things done. Looking to rush the static Shiv. That's what we've been seeing a lot of Vayne players doing, just foregoing the really low damage, for the cost of the Blade of the Ruined King. There's just not a whole lot of benefit coming from it. Leona showing up in the mid lane, wanting to do a dive, but knowing that the pool is still up and not able to bait it out. So they will go ahead and ret that. Ooh, going really low. If the Zed decided to go in, he could get some damage off really quickly, but we'll see if he decides to do anything else with it. Vayne's still looking for poke, being so aggressive every time Riven comes into this fight. Just able to get one auto off, just forces him away. There goes the pink ward, popped by the Vi, and Vayne will be able to get out safely. Looking to be aggressive with this Vi here, go ahead and reward the bush. So just unfortunate there for the Vayne. This blue ward, pink ward's here for them in the jungle. Blue picked up by the Akali heading into enemy jungle. They know that the Vi is top lane. They've seen her on this ward as well as the pink, I believe. She walked up here. She's top lane again. Vayne deciding to go back, not able to get the ultimate. They do get it onto her, not able to stun her up quick enough to use from her. Lots of damage coming onto her, but it won't be enough, and the Vayne will stay alive. So just unfortunate there from the top laner going down to the Vayne. Vayne not having to burn anything but the summoner heal there just to stay alive and really bait in that Riven engage. She did have flash, so I'm not sure why she wanted to go in. Akali with the Twilight Shroud gonna jump in. W misses for the bigger fish, and he's not able to land the root again. We haven't seen him land a root yet. Zenith Blade right onto Lucian. No mana, not able to dash yet. There it is, but he's able to get out. And deadly blast comes up from the flash in from Bard to try and get a stun on him, but not able to pull it off. Flash from Akali jumps right under the turret in order to get the hill. The hill. Excuse me. 4-0-4 red team, and that is the 3,000 gold lead for them. TP bot lane for the Riven, wanting to get something done against this Akali, but not able to get anything. Leo in the mid lane. Zed will get the kill onto the Vladimir. Already used his pool and his ultimate, just not getting healed enough. Flash for the Riven right onto the Leona to get a kill. Vi will get out of there, so Zed not able to return a kill back from that crazy mid game there. Wish we would have the replay, but that is all right. So we saw the Riven trying to get something done. She TP'd all the way down here. Could have TP'd on this ward to really cut off that Akali, but then that would have kept her up here, and he would have at least been able to pick up a kill on her early. But not something we see. Something I do like to see is all these pink wards in the inventory, so we are seeing some good adaptation from blue team, as opposed to the last game, I believe. Ooh, nice kill onto the top laner from the Riven. So now, at this point, she does have Caulfield's Warhammer, so it's just going to really pressure the Vayne into being a little bit safer and not taunting so much. Walking out into the lane, she does go ahead and pick up not the Static Shiv, but the Phantom Dancer, just for that duelist capability. That's going to help her survive a little bit into the dueling situations, but however, as we saw just now, the burst from the Riven is just going to be a bit too much for the Vayne to deal with. So I believe she used ultimate. Yes, he used ultimate, but was still able to get taken down. Just the stun and the key burst from being too much. Nice Q onto the flash away from Jhin just to stay alive. Leona's in the bot lane, wanted to go really aggressive, not going to get anything done. Jhin does have Curtain Call available, so Vayne, she will go in, but the Fate's Call is going to go ahead and protect the Bard for now. Trying to stay alive. There goes Vi. Doesn't get the ultimate right onto the Zed. Misclicks onto the Leona, and they will lose 2 for it. So unfortunate for blue team. Another Zenith Blade onto the Leo. Good stun, and they will go ahead and just turret dive on the very outer edge to get another kill. So excellent showing from the Zed. Nice rotations bot, and blue team finally going to push something in the turret, but not going to get anything onto the actual turret, so unfortunate for them. Now he's roaming bot lane. Vladimir going to need to change some of his rotations now and hope to impact these side lanes. Zed has been bot twice. They see him coming. They know he's sitting here, so they will wait for it. They do see him waiting in the wings, and they will go ahead and pressure him off. So blue team, now they will see he's trying to get something down the field. He doesn't know that the teammates are just bot, and they're not going to walk up, so they will come from the other side of the pit, and here they come. He's going to throw down the ultimate onto Leo, thinking that's enough. Ignite is down, not going to be enough to get a kill, so unfortunate there for him. Trying to get the jump on the Leo, but nothing doing. You can see some more poke and harassment coming out in the top lane here for the Vayne and the Riven. Still looking for some fights in this top lane, but Vayne just not able to get a whole lot. Still has the CS lead, but the hard engage from the Riven is really going to be interesting. So no Condemn here available for another 10 seconds for this Vayne. If Riven wanted to capitalize on that with no peel coming from the Vayne, when Condemn's down, that's the Riven's opportunity to strike. So if Riven doesn't decide to go in, then she'll always get condemned away, and then the key burst, that stun, is going to be useless. So there it is again. She's going to go ahead and stun her into the wall. Nice! Nice outplay there from the Vayne. Going to go ahead and Q. Going to get the turret and then turn onto the Vi. No ultimate means that Vi can't fight this. It's almost up. Just a few more seconds here. 5 more seconds. Going to vault break right back on top of the Vayne. And with the ultimate up, assault battery up in just a second, she's going to use it right there, but not be able to take her down as Vayne is able to kite it away, thanks to the Warlord's Bloodlust's passive. So amazing job there from the Vayne here. Vayne top just doing work for the team. That CS lead growing to now 50 CS lead. Really come out big there. We didn't see what happened in the bot lane here, but I believe that the Kali showed up and just getting some more pressure onto this immobile support in the bot lane. So Bard going down to that. 401 on this Kali, doing work for his team. Really showing up, and like I said, just paying special attention to this bot lane and really wanting to get some work done onto the Bard, onto the Lucian, getting the Jhin rolling. 105 on this Jhin. So really just strong lanes, and this is going to carry them through the mid game. The weak mid game, they're all so snowbally. Both these assassins are so snowbally. So this will carry them through the early game. I'm looking to see if they're going to pick up a dragon anytime soon, because this is necessary. This Earth Dragon should be really useful for taking down these turrets and taking down these epic monsters, but they aren't going to really get a lot out of it. Red team getting a lot of damage here. Zenith Blade onto the Vi. Nice deadly flourish there onto her, but Akali once again just deciding not to follow up early and turning around right here and not able to get anything out of it. Flash burn by the Vi. So pressuring this mid lane is what Red team's going to want to do next. 13 kills to 2. Just about to hit 16 minutes as Riven shows up to defend. Red team finally deciding, yes, we have enough wards. We will clear the ward in the Dragon Pit and take this Earth Dragon for ourselves. Bard wanting to see if he can do anything for it. Q going to come out, and he's not going to be able to pick it up. Ooh, so close. Early smite there from Akali, but they do pick it up. And then the engage onto the Bard. So much damage. Is going to delay it with Faith's Call, but Leona shows up with the Solar Flare just to pick up the Bard now, and Lucian getting tagged on that, and the HBC slowed and no going anywhere for him. Nice engage onto the mid lane. Vayne trying to kite it out, but Vi's excessive force is going to finally take her down. So nice job using the minions to his advantage and using that excessive force just to get the cone of damage in the back. But again, cross map, 4 members in the mid lane, and they will get another turret for their troubles. Gold lead extends to 10,000 as Red team really look to take control of the mid game and just excel themselves into the late game as soon as possible. Pings go onto the top lane. Riven pushed that in and then go ahead and went back. So 3 people top lane, a little bit wasted here. They will go ahead and send them back instead of really searching for the Riven. So good for them for knowing when to just go B. Lucian headed bot to see if he can get some more farm in this bot lane. Just gonna take the low route. Interesting little engage. Nice condemn into the wall. Gonna take the Bard out of the tunnel for the Vayne. Nice mechanics there. Not really knowing what to do. We'll spam a little bit before he goes down, and Vayne will get the kill. Really nice mechanics from this Vayne. Just doing so much work. Going very aggressive onto the Vlad here, and just staying out of range of the Tides of Blood. So almost getting taken down. There goes shows Vi up, and going to vault break onto the Vayne. Going to continue to kite it out with the Jhin here, and then the Riven is going to go ham. Solar Flare onto one, and Leona's going to go ham for the Vlad, and that's the curtain call onto him as the rest of the team shows up, and they will get 4-4-0 for Red team. Just amazing peel there and mechanics from the team. I guess that it really is a 5-0. Bard going down in the early, and then the engage here into the jungle. Lots of deep vision for them, but they didn't have a lot to follow up on, knowing that they could take that Vayne, really being assured of her skill and being able to take that down. Fate's Call onto the turret just to delay them a little bit, but no follow-up from them. Nice little cheeky cosmic binding onto the Zed, but not going to get anything done. So Red team now just looking to press their advantages, take another tower for themselves. That is a 13k gold lead for them now. Pause coming in really fast. Might be a little bit of an issue here. And everyone is back. So as we'll see, still, something that Red team could have done. Looking for them. Nice little engage onto the Vayne. Assault and battery right onto her, but no follow-up from the teams mean that they'll be able to kite this out really nicely. Vlad using pool early. He's going to use the Zonias to take down Riven shows up, is going to ult right onto 2, and Leona's going to flash away. Jin now having to flash as well. The reload coming out at an inopportune time means he's not going to get any more peel damage off as he tries to kite. Zed showing up in the mid lane, going to try and get some damage onto 2, and he will get the outplay for the 2 for 0. Amazing Zed mechanics here, and the Kali diving the turret just to get the Bard. So well done from red team, looking to pressure down another turret for themselves, and this will make it 5 for 0 as the Vi respawns in base. So we'll see what ends up happening now. Gold lead 3, almost just 2,500 gold lead in the top lane here. Look at the CS difference for this Vayne. Kind of the CS difference has really kind of slowed down. I'd expect it to be a bit more, and Riven has kept it from going any further than about 50 CS, but I'm still looking for the Riven to do something about that. Nice CS difference here in the jungle as well. 704 on this jungle Kali, doing well for herself, for the team, at 703 on the Zed as well. So both assassins really putting in their work and getting into that backline, waiting until they use dashes, waiting until they use summoner spells to really get things done. Leona pressuring away the Lucian from the red buff. Zed in the bot lane. That threat means that blue team has to back away from this red buff and give up this resource. So Riven showing up, wants to get something done. Zed will go ahead and head to the red buff. And Riven knows what he's after, so she will back away as well. Akali showing up. Lucian way out of position. And the Akali jumping straight onto him. Shadow Dance twice just after the flash was used. Still not able to get anything done. Wanting to dive the turret. Flash key burst onto the Vayne, punishing that overextension. And blue team will get 2 kills for themselves as another one goes down. And that is 3 for 2 right now. They lose their jungler and their top laner. For the rest of their team, red team still able to pull it out. That was the engage the blue team was looking for, and there's just not a whole lot that they can do against this snowbally mid laner and the Jin, as well as the peel from the Leona. So just amazing. Kite backwards, a little bit of an overstep here. Vayne steps into turret range, and immediately Riven flash key burst onto her, gets 2, jumps into the rest of the team, and starts getting damage as much as she can. She starts using broken wings through 3 members of red team, and is able to get some decent damage off before dying. I think she also was able to use wind slash at the end of it there, and then she did get that nice damage. So that's the miracle engage that blue team is looking to win these team fights. But there's just not a lot that they can do. Punishing these oversteps and these over. They know they're in the middle. There they are. They find the Leona. Flash Vault Breaker onto the Leo, and they will take out the tank, which means no peel for red team for the next 36 seconds. Deciding they won't continue to go in on the Jin. Wind Slash used on the Zed, but not going to get anything for it. Another Mountain Drake available for red team. Blue team could have gone for that after taking down the Leona, knowing that the Akali was headed towards the top lane. They were not aware of her headed towards top lane, and they still haven't taken a good job of clearing out these wards. Still really deep wards here for red team, so giving them lots of information, knowing where blue team is. Akali being able to Twilight Shroud a bush, jumping onto the Vlad here. Nice stun, gonna dodge the root with his pool. Gonna Zonia's with that. He will get still hit. Ooh, gonna flash away from the last curtain call, but Akali just going ham. Really low here for the team. They will jump in onto her though, and Vi does go down. Zed ultimate right onto the ribbon, and so much burst damage from these assassins. So again, another 5 for 0 for red team, snowballing so well through that early game, mid game, and really bringing in 24 minutes, and they break open the base again after the bot lane inhibitor was already taken. another Earth Dragon for the red team there. That's 2 for them. They will get an Ocean next, which will help them survive. A little bit of, not really a whole lot of poke from but if they do happen to get a little bit of an engage on, then it'll help them kind of stay topped up from that. Not a whole lot of poke coming out from the teams, aside from the Jin, really, or the ZQs. So blue team would have capitalized a bit more for that from them, but they decide to go just forego that dragon, and then they might look to get the next Ocean Drake, but we'll see. Wanting to push out this bot lane here, blue team trying to do the best they can in each lane, but again, the Vayne in the top lane creating so much pressure, growing that CS lead. And again, clearing out these wards for themselves. There's another ward taken out. Vlad, nice Zenith Blade, using Pool really early, Deadly Flourish right onto him. And they will use, ooh, the 4th shot, Zhonya's, as Vayne goes in and Zed shows up from the backline. Just gonna Yumu's Ghost Blade right out of there. Kali trying to do what she can to get back into the base and group up with her allies. As red team pressures the top lane, there's just nothing that blue team could do at this point. Nice Tempered Fate just to see if he could stall a little bit, get a nice done. Good assault and battery onto the Vayne, but not able to kill her. And Vi will die for her sins as they continue to go down. Ghost Blade right onto the Zed. It is going to use Wind Slash. Almost gets the last Broken Wings proc to take down the Vayne, and she will not get the 2-for-1. Another ace for red team as they finish off the turret in the top lane. Jin not dying. We'll fight for another inhibitor. Deadly Flourish onto the Vlad, and he doesn't have a pooling, doesn't have his Zhonya's, and that will be the kill with the 4th shot for the Jin. So 8-0-16 on this Jin, doing exceptionally well for his team. Starting with those, kind of iffy flourishes in the beginning of the game, but really starting to open up later. Looking to get a decent ultimate onto the Lucian, but will only take him down to half health. So not a lot. Flash from Akali. Gonna see what she can get done. Throwing out the Twilight Shroud. And staying and letting the minions just slowly take the base. And that will be the win for red team. Once again, just utilizing their team comp so well and getting that early game pressure, excelling themselves through the mid game, and just, what a decisive snowbally victory. Really utilizing the aggression in the bot lane, the shadow dance from the Akali, the repeat ganks, and just showing up in the bot lane. Like I said, this all just goes, back to that early game. What was blue team going to really do? The Vi should have known. Yes, that Akali is going to be pretty aggressive, and with the low CC in other lanes, she's going to want to stick near to the CC. So Akali hanging out in this bot lane, repeatedly coming through Tribush to get these kills onto the bot lane, was just huge for the team. Got them really snowballing. Zed in the mid lane able to hold himself off after that first kill in the early game at 1.5 minutes. And then Vayne, just duelist capabilities against the Riven. 5-8-3, 9-4-13, doing well for herself in that top lane. Just look at this gold lead. 4,000 gold. 4.2, 4.3 gold. Just doing really well. Not able to really extend the CS difference very much. I did see the Vayne roaming a bit more than staying in the top lane and being a side wave pressure. I think they could have ended earlier, honestly. I feel like red team could have ended earlier. A lot of kills going on, 41 kills for the team. Just doing really well for themselves. Let's see the post-game screen and see if there was anything to note. 41-9, 68. Damage dealt, a lot of that coming from Riven trying to do her best to get into the games, but not able to make anything come of it. And again, the Vayne with the most damage, interesting. Really making those crossmen, trying to just do her best to roam, was a really great supporting top laner there. Didn't really focus on herself to hard carry, still carried pretty well. Had a nice couple of outplays there. But all in all, red team coming out with the win. Nice job for them. Looks like they did pretty well for themselves there. So, We will look to see what they can do next. Again, I think MVP going to have to go to the Jhin, just able to land those deadly flourishes later on in the game and really helping out his team to propel them to the victory. The Leona doing lots of work for her team as well. But again, this bot lane, 119 and 5, just so under so much pressure from this Akali, from the CC and the Leona. Vi could have expected this. Vladimir could have expected this. Running into the bot lane, saying the only source of hard CC from their team is going to be where the jungler is going to want to go. No CC from the Akali, minus a little bit of a slow, means that she's going to want to be by CC. They're going to want... This is how they're going to get kills, is from the one CC threat on their team. So, just big focus there. So, red team knowing how to play their team, knowing what to do in order to win. Blue team just not being able to read it. So, just... you know, they played their hearts out. They had a lot of good plays, a lot of pressure coming to the top lane from the Vi. I would have liked to see a lot more pressure in the bot lane, but that's something they can work on for next time. That's going to be it from me. I'm your host, Skidmarkmania, a color caster for UAF and for the world. So, take care, and we will see you in the next one.